In this Make It Once video, the aftermath of a fun little drive. I feel like it's confession time. After I ran Marty, before he was ready at all, I gave in to my demons and I just wanted to see it moving. So it probably wasn't the smartest idea, but I don't think there was anything terrible about it. My son had a good time seeing all its smoky, crunchy sounds all down the road. I kind of expected that. But I also learned some other things from driving it around that are useful, really useful. I may not have picked it up on it right away. Is the mechanical fuel pump was working and pumping fuel. Obviously, it wouldn't have run, but that old style or old type of rubber failed with the ethanol and just dumped fuel into the oil pan. So the oil reeks of gas. And the other thing is, if we look in here, you realize the oil hasn't actually made it up to the valve train, which is bad news. So even though I got oil pressure, the oil just may not getting through the passages. So the fuel pump is toast. The other thing that I realized too is that if you look in here, the radiator fluid hasn't been moving around. So chances are the water pump has failed, and you could hear it in the video. There's some clicking, so the bearings might be dead, but it's probably just clogged up. And after sitting and hundreds of thousands of use, it's probably just gone. So I'm going to have to replace the water pump as well. And then as we swing around the engine, there was huge exhaust leaks. Maybe down here by the gasket, but also from underneath. Take a look at this, folks. That's not a little exhaust leak. That is a whole chunk flying out of the bottom. So, need a new exhaust system. Got to think about what I want to do with that. And if the exhaust header or manifold is dead, so I might want to just replace the whole thing all the way back. But there's just rubber all over the place. That is a mess. I was actually very lucky that the transmission didn't fall out. Take a look at this. That is hanging on by a thread. There was also some leaking fluid. I traced it back to a hose that I believe might be a charcoal canister tube that they just left dangling. So because of the fuel pump draining everywhere, it probably was flowing like crazy and just dumped fuel out of this, which is supposed to be a vent. It runs across the back and runs by the transmission into the back of the car. It could be a transmission coolant thing. I'm not totally sure. If anybody knows, please let me know. So I learned quite a bit. The brakes actually are in decent shape. The brake lines all seem to be pretty solid. This bearing, I think, is dead. It's making some noise and it's not spinning. Minimum, it's just crusty, but I have the new one, so I'm going to take it apart, re-grease it. I'm going to probably just replace it. And the back over here, one of these threads is just destroyed. So I need to replace that. I just ordered new rotors for everything. So I got tons of parts coming. The rubber everywhere is shot. The suspension's a disaster. The exhaust is a disaster. The fuel pump is dead. The water pump is probably not working. That is the update. I'm looking forward to getting my hands dirty with this one. Following along with me, you know that I'm always just kind of doing things the first time, or I don't have a lot of experience. So I'm kind of looking for new ways to do things, and I make stuff up along the way. So in this one, I'm going to try something. We always hear about sonic parts cleaner bins and all that stuff. They're expensive, and all it is just degreaser and vibration. So I bought the cheapest electric toothbrush that I can find, and I'm just going to do a sonic parts clean in place and see if it actually kind of worked. But this is just an experiment. So I'm going to spray it with some carb cleaner and then use the toothbrush, the sonic toothbrush, to see if it kind of can clean this stuff up. It worked pretty well, and obviously, you know, just cleaning it up doesn't do a whole lot, but it looks a lot better. The chunks that are going down probably clogging up everything are gone. So now I can drain the oil and get some new oil in there. So that's fuel mixed with the oil, and the crank is hitting it and frothing it all up. Now you're supposed to not torque it all the way down until the RTV dries quite a bit, and then it kind of solidifies. Then you torque it down the last bit. The new fuel pump is in place, the new fuel line and a few new hose clamps are in place. Use the old filter. I'm going to plug it all in, start it up, make sure that it works, that I installed it properly. So yeah, so let's take a look. Looks like it works. Didn't instantly fail, so I installed it properly. The exhaust smells terrible, but that's for another day.